Hello darlings, happy Saturday. So the last time we spoke was the 19th of September and I just have to let those days go by because if I just made videos every day, I wouldn't be able to get into my inner world and be on top of everything I have to do. So I just have to wait for the right moment to come back to you. So a lot has happened since we last spoke on the 19th of September. The last time I spoke to you, Mercury was already retrogrades and Venus was not yet in detriment in Virgo. The last time I spoke, I did that quick video to explain the importance of the timing between those dates that I showed you, the bada boom of Harry with the Queen. So that was the 29th of the 9th to 3/22/2023. So we're in it. It's begun. And that's so much has happened from the storms, FiOna, Ian to the war reaching top exhilaration. It's all coming and it's all perfectly timed with the planets. So going back through from the last video, at the 20th, Venus not yet in Virgo, 21st, and we're coming up to the black moon that we had. Then we had the moon on Regulus for the 23rd. 24th, Venus moves into Virgo. And then we had the full moon on the 25th. And Mercury and Venus were conjunct. So I'll be showing you, but you know, I always pick up on things on the day. So the film Shrek, which I've never seen. I always find these films far too disturbing. But I went and looked, and sure enough, there's the little bluebirds. I found a scene where Fiona, so Hurricane Fiona, the name of the woman in Shrek, that's how I discovered Shrek. I was looking up Fiona, and we'll come to that in my posts. But Fiona sings, she sings, here's Fiona, Venus in detriment, this is the little mermaid with legs. In detriment, she sings, and little Mercury is blinded by Venus. Mercury explodes the little bluebirds. So I'll be taking you to see that. And Mars is now moving away from the bullseye. We had the Queen's death. Jupiter, well, he's moving forward still. Jupiter is moving back away from that whale's tail. He rules Pisces. So this is happening opposite where we had that black moon as Jupiter's moving away from the sword in the stone. The Cairo, the new logo of Prince Charles, is the C and the R. So we've got Canada, Russia, China, Russia, the Cairo, the sword in the stone. And this is the whole point of the Queen carrying the spine and the heads, PlutO, because PlutO is under Altair, the eagle, the double-headed eagle. And for Putin's speech, you see the double-headed eagle carrying in his claws, like the Queen, PlutO, and the spine. I've forgotten the name for it. I've showed it to you in the last videos. And PlutO is going to be moving forward for the full moon coming up on the 10th of the 9th. So we're going to check, but this is a first black moon in Virgo. Then we're going to have the full moon. So the full moon, we're going to have Sun in Virgo, moon on the whale's tail with Jupiter, And then there'll probably be another black moon that we're going to check, which is very much that Solomon passage, Prince Charles with his big ears, with his Dumbo ears, with the full moon. That's the Solomon with the two black moons on either side, the two dark women on either side, this Virgo energy. So this is all about the Kremlin right now, the motherlands. The Queen is representing the death of Capricorn, the death of Miss Havisham and Charles Moby Dickens, Charlie and Estella and Pip are now going to be taking over. Estella as the Black Madonna and Pip as the seed of the Dauphin. And these storms we've been having was on Mexico, the whale's tail, New Scotland. You'll see we had the little mini whale, the Dauphin. So coming back here, we move on. 26. Still got the moon here. This is what I'm trying to say, is that double-headed eagle is everything that is happening now. Pluto is going to move forward for that full moon. Pluto is going to move forward. So that last elastic band, his entrance into Capricorn, the death of the motherland and bringing in that energy through Paris, through Ukraine, of the Black Madonna, and taking over Europe, the whole of Europe, with the Paris Olympics becoming the Dauphin, the crowning of this Peter Pan, and creating the double-headed eagle, which represents the Darbel, the two L's, the two wings, the two right angles, and the crown on the top of the eagle, 07, Coronas Borealis, on top of Ophiuchus, the 13th sign, which is the one voice, the 1-7, and I'll be showing you the images. At 26, we had Jupiter closest to Earth as it has been in the past 60 years. So in 1963, for the assassination of John F. Kennedy, that's the Medusa, that's the jellyfish cut, John F. Kennedy, Jodie Foster, Jane Fonda, 1963. So that's actually 59 years, because it's 2023 next year, we're still in 22. 59 is the same as 56, the years that Pluto spent in the whale. Pluto was here in the Victorian era. So let's show you, I always show you this. Pluto, there he is. Let's try 1877. Where was Pluto? So he was just out. And there, in Cetus, in the belly of the whale, the lie was created. The Jupiterians prepared this takeover that we're living now. So Pluto entered Cetus in 1813 and spent 13 so from from 13 there's a little retrograde there. He went into Aries. No, okay, he's still there. until 1869. So he went through Aries under Cetus as well. So the last time that Jupiter was so close to Earth, in 1963, was the periods that we had the preparation of Russia. So, you know, this is all about taking that virgin lands. And as it says here, the theory was this policy on virgin land in the north, Caucasus and West Siberia, lying in both Russia and northern Kazakhstan. The Kazakhstan party leadership was not enamored of the idea, since they did not want more Russians in their republic. The Kazakhstan leadership was dismissed, and the new first secretary was Malenkov appointee. So all this preparation was going on the last time that Jupiter, the ruler of Pisces, where Jupiter is on the whale's tail now, and the ruler of Sagittarius, where Pluto is now leaving and will be going forward for this full moon on the 10-9, which is again always, as in Alice of Wonderland, the taking over of the Virgin Alice, of the Queen of Hearts. The Queen was diagnosed of dying of a broken heart. So that happened on the 26th. So on the 26th, let's come back to now. You've still got Venus, Mercury, Sun and Moon. Jupiter still on the tail of the fish. So we're just going to start going through my posts, because it's the best way for me to keep track and run through smoothly. So going from now backwards to last video: JFK, jellyfish, Medusa cut, the diaphragm, division bell. 1963, last time Jupiter so close to Earth, assassination. 59 years ago, 59, 56. 56 years Pluto spent in the whale's belly in Victorian era. And now Pluto last leg retro under Altair, the L, the Isle, the L, that's wing in French. And ruler Jupiter on whale's tail, the double-headed your crane. UK, reine, queen. UK, it's all about your skull. Eagle, Aigle, 007, 777, 111, lol, Lucifer, our Lord. Right. Winter is here. It's not complicated. You really think the whole world is concerned for UK Ren? No. This is about your crane, skull, last leg angle. USA, China and Europe taking over Russia. So, you know, Europe, the World War II was already the preparation for Europe. We've had wars after war. America was taken over a long time ago for this time. The last time that Pluto entered Capricorn as he is now was 1776. So everything has been going on in the last 244 years, this preparation. The fertile mother moons mows cow land, and then the black Madonna, Iron Lady, La Marianne, fertile Russia becomes the virgin mother made sterile to baby Europe, the Dauphin. This is the Macron. In macaron, a macaron are those little French patisseries, the sandwich, the little sandwich sweets that they eat in France. And it's the time of macaroni, the famous American during the Revolution. Buck in the ham sandwich, China, USA taking over Russia, Europe, after the New World Order last leg. France being the capital of the 24-42 Olympics. Sun, King. That is the year of the snake. 2024, and this is their preparation of their Alpha Amigo, of their Cairo sword in the stone, for the Sun, King, Dauphin, the closing of the snake and Aigle, Eagle, Alpha Omega artificially, when it's an inside job to see through the crap. Jupiter is closest to Earth today in 60 years on the whale's tail. Will I am, tell, Alpha Omega, Cairo, the last sword in the stone. So this is the image we're shown of Putin yesterday. He is showing us George, the throat. The Georgia Guidestones shows us that, and he is piercing the dragon, the snake, the Milky Way, the passage through the throat. And this should be the 5-pointed star, but it's made into 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the same thing at CERN. It's Shiva. It's the 3 arms. It's the 2 heads. And crowning both the eagle and the snake, the east and the west. Mars and Venus are all about the east and the west. They are the equinox. This is why this is so important, this period going to 322, when Mars will finish his 7 months in Taurus. The last time that Mars was retro in Taurus was for the last, in 2008, when we had the financial crash, and also in 1991, where we had a financial crash, and we also had the beginning of war. We had the beginning of war in 1991, at the Gulf War, the beginning of that Gulf War. So again, it's red and yellow. It's all red and yellow and black, taking the black earth, taking the black mother. This is the eagle splits. This is exactly where Pluto is, and he's moving forward for the full moon coming up on the 9th. So this is your double 07. It's not the true Solomon passage, sun and moon merging. You've got to get through the Gorge, St. George, through this gatekeeper, as we see on the St. Andrew's cross. And you see they've put the lion here. So the 2 V for victory is the passage from the throat is the V, and also the passage below, the female passage taken over. The 2 passages to the torso, the Taurus field, Mars retrograde now over. Well, he'll be going for the solar partial eclipse on the 25th as Saturn moves forward. An old picture of Lars. This is the passageway. This is showing, this is the double-headed eagle, but they've blocked the passageway through. You've got to pay your bill, the nanny goat, to open the gates. And here is the green man, here is Shrek, blocking that passage and creating that 13th sign of Fucius, a never-ending waging war with the snake, the crocodile Dundee, the passage, the 2 snakes that represent the lunar nodes, north-south. There is the eagle cutting the Milky Way division. JFK cuts, Jupiter rules the eagle, got the diving wings, the diving swallow, the swallow, which is our throat to swallow, and cutting the ability from the spine, the 33 degrees, the 33 vertebres, green tree, and the ball is our heads. The baleine, the breath of the bull. So this is the true passage to find that balance of air and earth, and to come out to find your anima and your animus, as I always explain. Today is the year, 1 year ago, that my son-in-law passed away. It's all very symbolic. He and his brother, like Pollux and Castor, spent half their time on earth and half their time in heaven. And that's what he chose to do with his brother, returning. His brother died 1 year before. And his brother died as the sun sat between Leo and Cancer, exactly for this passage. And Matt went as Mercury sat on Spica in Virgo, and Mars and the Sun were conjunct in Virgo, as we now have Venus, Mercury and Sun in Virgo. So you all know this. This is the true closing of the wheel. We've got Aquarius and Capricorn. We've got Scorpio and Libra. We've got Taurus and Aries. So Venus and Mars are always ruling that equinox, which is actually the true solstice. And the Sun and the Moon merge as Saturn retakes the Twin Peaks. And this is what they're giving us. So Sagittarius and Capricorn, Jupiter and Saturn. This is being played out as Jupiter, Europe, takes over the black motherland of Russia, when it should be North America. And as I said, there's 55 kilometers between Russia and Alaska, Canada. Again, that Charles's new logo, CR, Canada, Russia. And this is the fate closing, crucifying the fixed signs in the gap, when it should be the closing of the Milky Way, the Cairo, the Chiron's last passage. Here you have the mutable signs that fade away, so the cardinal and the fixed can merge. They are merging the mutable with the cardinal. That is Jupiter. This is all about Jupiter not letting go of the empire, keeping Europe. So again, the Free Martins, that's what this is. Mars in Taurus, making that feminine, giving Gemini, bringing in the energy of Gemini twins to the uterus to make the Free Martins, the sterile women, which has already happened in Russia. A lot of women are already Free Martins, as in Huxley's A Brave New World. So there you have the 7-7, the dub L, and that is being made into the 0-7. So again, you've got Mars, you've got Mars and Venus. Mars and Venus, the rulers of that equinox of the snake. And we've got this Sagittarius Jupiter coming in to make this purple rain, Ra, are the kidneys, being hung upside down, 007. So there's the V for victory, this passage, this Vesica Pisces. It's the throat. And here you've got the Lone Ranger star. You've got America, and you've got the Indians, you've got the masked hero, and now they are those two heads of the double eagle. They have no more connection to their body. It's about joining your spine with your head to have that upright pineal gland in your head, the canary. Got to see the four legs. You've got to see the four angles, the double four-wheel drive. Here. You're going to make it through up the spine. The adder, the canary, and the adder. So it's all about your skull, your crane, to find the fifth element, so that the wheel closes properly, as I showed you, and you have that gateway, that heart gateway, which is being made into the fertility god, into the green man. It's an inside job. There's Mercury, and there she is with her ball, the head and the spine, just like the double-headed eagle. And this is all about the plasma events. This is what we see for the plasma events. And there we have the takeover of the Virgin rising. Queen of Hearts. Okay, behind Putin is St. George on the double 7-7-headed eagle, the dragon, Loch Ness, Moonstar, Moby Dick, Milky Way, Snake Slayer, womb, fertility to get her. The Gorge, Georgia, Georgie Porgy girl, according to Elizabeth Ann Finn's home in the Holy Land, 1866, that date again. I always show you 1968. 1968, Pluto went into Virgo and left in 1986. So the green man is here, 13th sign of Ficus, green god, fertility, womb, takeover, taken over. So the gardener, Mars in Taurus, Silvergate, Moe's cow, tip of the Milky Way snake. St. George killed the dragon in this country, and the place is shown close to Beirut. Many churches and convents are named after him. The church at Lida is dedicated to George. So is a convent near Bethlehem, and another small one just opposite the Jaffa Gate. So again, orange, Jaffa is Palestine. It's that Israel-Palestine which will be brought together as a sign of peace after all this chaos. That snake and the eagle being brought together artificially. St. George is equivalent to saying the Arabs believe that George can restore mad people to their senses. And to say a person has been sent to St. George's is equivalent to saying he has been sent to a madhouse. It is singular that Muslim Arabs adopted this veneration for St. George and send their mad people to be cured by him, as well as the Christians, but they commonly call him El-Qadr, the Green, according to their favourite manner of using epithets instead of names. Why he should be called Green, however, I cannot tell. Well, Taurus is the heart, green, and little Mercury is being used as this throat passage, the voice to become Pan, killing Capricorn and bringing up their Cenarus, their fertility god, happy Centaurus. Why he should be called green, how I cannot tell, unless it is from the colour of his horse. Grey horses are called green in Arabic. So there you've got behind him the eagle, the double-headed eagle, and George killing the crocodile, the snake. There is Ophiuchus owning the passage, the throat through, throat passage. There is Cenarus, Ceranos, Celtic, horned one in Celtic religion, archaic and powerful deity, widely worshipped as the lord of the wild things. So there he is. Crocodile Dundee, crocodile, same thing. The enormous crocodile in French, the enormous crocodile is not this story, but a French story is called Momo. And there, this is what they're taking. This is the Pisces in her two forms, the two fish, the mermaid and the monster. Ficus. And this is a post I'll be showing you, but here you've got it. You've got the bold egg, gingerhead man holding the fertility in the J of the Scorpio constellation. The Joker holding, he found this in Australia. I'll be showing you. Killing Isis and Medusa killing the man, turning man to stone. Okay. So here is Miss Havisham Little Boy Blue, Dauphin, Wanda, and the Black Madonna, Jack and Jill. Mercury rules a stellar, so we've got Venus in detriment for those dates of the black moon we just had on the 25th. And then on the 26th, we had Jupiter closest to Earth. So Venus in detriment in Virgo is a stellar. And little blinded Mercury, he can't speak up. We've got this is exactly what's happening now. And the death of the motherland. Mercury, Jack and Jill, Mercury rules a stellar Virgo, Virgin, and Pit Gemini boy, the twin DNA strands that should merge so you find your crown. Miss Have His Ham, Old Hecate, Pisces, Capricorn, Goatfish by Charlie Moby Dickens. Book is 1946, of course, 64, 46 chromosomes to make double twin DNA strands. So 3:15, 3:15, so 3:15 is 3-3, or it's 5 and 1 is 6:36, the closing of the wheel where we are now, 3:69, the line broke, the moon key got choked. Broken heart, Queen Elizabeth II died of a broken heart, royal experts assert. So this is a very important clip. Oops. I'm always afraid to put sound because they always block. And you've got little Pip and you've got him. He arrives. It's so Satire, Saturn's Lodge, Capricorn. You've got the Mad Hatter who looks at his clock. He looks at his watch. They're at the throat. As I just read that story, people are sent to St. Gall, Georges, the throat, to deal with madness. It's 3:15. And here comes Venus in Virgo. If you've seen the film Dogville with Nicole Kidman, at the end of the film, she becomes from grace to the goss. Venus in Virgo, she's had enough of self-sacrifice. And she's a right little madam. And this is a very, very important book story. And there you've got Miss Havisham in her wedding gown, which also represents there. She's saying her heart has been broken. She's telling him that it can never be mended. She's remained like this. And there'll be so many clues in here. So the new moon, the full moon, is the Hunter moon coming up on the 9th of October. So let's move on. Right, this is very important. Charts of Princess Diana birth and charts of Apollo 11 moon landing, Russian landing and Chinese landing. So the logo of Prince Charles Mono logo, King Charles. I'll be showing you in posts, but just, we've got, I do not want the dogs. Okay, what have I put? To have dogs. Here we go. There is your crown, and the double-headed eagle becomes one. China, Russia, or Canada, Russia, the Cairo. Moon landing, Russian landing, and Chinese landing. For my next video, here I am. When I have the time, here I am, probably over the weekend, because it's such a joke. It's simply about making the moon goddess into the whore of Babylon. Diana, born on the 1st of July, again, that's your 1177, the two throats, masculine voice, feminine voice. In 1961, which is the same as 1991, the last time Jupiter was so close, and 1961 was the time of the beginning of these going to the moon. So we had Russia, China, America's famous one in 69, I think it is. Yep, in 69. So again, this is the cornerstone, 69, 96. It's just that solstice line. So 1961 is 1111. The 1, it's always the angle, the 90-degree angle. The 9 is the 6. And this is also Sagittarius 9, Virgo 6. So she's born 777, 1111, 4 90-degree angles, the 1st of the 7th, 69, year of the cow ox. No, she was born in 61. 61 is the year of the cow ox. Sun in Gemini, conjunct Mercury, retro, both conjunct Sirius. So let's just open these up and let me show you. So this is the Apollo landing, 1969, the 20th of July. So again, you've got 2 is 11, and July is 7. So that's the 777. That's Charles, 111. And you've got here the Sun was in the home of the moon. So the first step of mankind, you've got the Sun here, and you've got Mercury conjunct in Cancer. Then we've got in Virgo, so 1969, Pluto had just entered Virgo. This is so important because Pluto is now about to enter Capricorn. The old miss have his ham and the virgin land. So for the landing of the moon, they're taking over the fertility, the womb, the moon. You've got Uranus, and we had South Node just moving out of Virgo. They go in the opposite direction of the planets. They go backwards. They are always on the equinox. So Jupiter, Uranus, Moon, and Pluto and South Node all in Virgo. I would think they're probably they say it's on zero degree of Leo, making the whore of Babylon, the whore of Babylon. So Apollo 11, we've got Mars in Scorpio, Neptune in Scorpio, and Venus on Aldebaran, as we've got Mars on Aldebaran now. So Venus at home, Ceres in Capricorn, moon landing 13th of September 1959. So this was the Chinese, the very first. And there we've got Sun and Mercury always conjunct in Leo. Pluto was still in Leo. Got Mars in Virgo, North Node in Virgo, Jupiter in Scorpio, and we've got the head of the snake in Virgo and the tail in Pisces. And here we've got the tail in Virgo and the head just in the 1st degree of Aquarius in the 6th house. I mean, I just put any old time here, but this is the 11th house, Apollo 11, and Jupiter next to Europa in Virgo in detriment, taking over the fallopian tubes. And then Princess Diana's chart, you see, people say that she was Cancer. She had Sun on Sirius with Mercury retrograde, and she had Jupiter and Saturn in Capricorn. She was born for a Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in Capricorn, and she had Pluto, North Node, Mars, Uranus maybe just at the end of Cancer, but that's right on the celebrity, that's right on the Babylonian, on Babylon. And she's Gemini, she's a trickster, and she's got her moon. It's funny because I always remember seeing that her moon was opposite but that is the 1st of July 1961. So I for some reason thought she had her moon in Sagittarius, but Here she's got her south node in Aquarius and north node in Leo, the birth of the whore of Babylon after her death, and Venus on Algol squaring her moon. And this, another China moon landing, 3rd of January. And we've got Saturn and Pluto again in Sagittarius. This is in 2019. So the most recent, and they went to the other side of the moon. They went to the other side of the moon. So we've now got Jupiter and the moon in Scorpio, the dark side of the moon. Mars in Pisces. Uranus had just entered Aries, where he still is, and that north node was on Cancer and south node, so 69, 96, bringing us back down to 69, not letting us find that octave of 96. And then Jupiter's home, Pluto, Saturn and Sun. The dart, and of course we've just had the darts sent to stop the steroid. I mean, good, no wonder it's difficult to make this video. I'm just so much to remember, but that's why I have my post to remember everything. We'll get through all this. So yesterday in the newspapers, Florence, Lucy Fleur, Fleur de Lis, Florence and the Machine. It's just this Venus in Virgo energy. Florence, night in, gale, the winds, ghoul, girl is the gangster face, it's the ugly face, girl, gal is Wales in French, whale's tail, que, so the dart that has, all this ridiculous, making the meteor off route, the meteor, that's what the billiards is about, that's what the Q does. The night in, Putin, the girl Virgo takes over from the mother, Mose cow, moon eyes, Sa, la vache qui rit, Milky Way kid, the new who, horizon, the who is the who, gold, Apollo, Mercury, Sundance, kid, sun, dauphin. So I won't open that, but it's the first. These are medical centers. So she was the nurse, Florence, and they're opening these new medical centers. And the first one has just been opened where I live in Florence. So that was from this time last year. We had the white stag that was killed. And remember, so my son-in-law died exactly a year ago for this same date, and his brother had died just on that Solomon passage a year before, and he was called JB, Jeremy Brown. And this is the story of my mother's model that was known as Bambi. And the year that this happened, in the year that I was married as the Virgin in 1985. So, I went over all that in my old videos at the time, but I suppose I'll show you. So we had in the French newspapers, the dog, it's lost all its legs. It was dragged behind a car called Bambi, a white dog. And you had Mercury on Spica, going retrogrades for the death of my son-in-law and for cutting down all the trees in my forest. Jane Birkin, JB, making the stag Instagram. This is Mars in Taurus now. And the famous Amy Winehouse comeback. She was killed by 93 dogs, which is just 60, which is just 39. 93 is 39. The Buffalo Bill, Spiker, killing the motherland. About the landing on the moon, you should go and watch again. This is a good video from our friend JP Jude, Pete and Paul, but, you know, she's on the correct constellations, and she's basically saying just how big this month is. But let's go and look at the magic roundabout, which is French, and the characters are just so there's Gertrude, Mo's cow with the flower, and you've got Florence, and in French she's called, and you've got Pollux from Pollux and Castor, Sirius, the dog known as Dougal in England. This is just all the astrology. It's the astrology wheel. You've got Bob Dylan, Jupiter. There is the Virgo girl. You've got the snail, and, you know, this is you there. You've got Mars, the train. So, what do I write here? It's a toy story for mind-controlled, fast-asleep, walking zombie humans. The magic roundabout is la roue, la belle histoire, the wheel you are spun on into the web. The moon is the female womb, the tides, it's about fertility, moon landing, Apollo, Sun, Mercury, 11, Aquarius, was when Pluto entered Virgo, Florence, fallopian tubes, mutable pre-sexual girl. Uranus, Jupiter and Pluto were conjunct in Virgo, and the moon was waxing crescent in Virgo. Pluto is now 2022 on the eagle, Aigle, the altar. The white sheep, the white moon is the pale face, white cheeks, arse, face, pale face man is sacrificed. Pluto leaves Sagittarius, Jupiter's home, as Jupiter is in water, Pisces, domicile, the unconscious collective, about to enter high cardinal Mother Earth. Capricorn, as Mars will go retro after the corona eclipse, the 25th of October. And Saturn moves forwards. And Pluto moves forwards. The mother cow Taurus around the bullseye, Mo's cow. Ermintrude, the cow made into a sterile bully. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Mercury was conjunct Sun, Apollo on Pollux, Dougal. The Sun was in Cancer, the 20th of July, 1969. 6996 is the cornerstone, Cancer ruled by the moon, and moon was in Virgo, the virgin child. Mankind is not the human race, it's the man on the moon making the virgin sterile, is the last of all fertility on earth, USSR, USA and China, the three kings. So that is just talking about that and about the magic roundabouts. So here we've got the dart. This is why I talk about D'Artagnan. I live in Aignan, the dart in Aignan. N is like Aintree. It's the anus in Liverpool. Liverpool is the throat before you get to Scotland. The Queen was brought down from Bal, the baleine in French. The whale is the baleine. N is hate. N is the North Polaris. N is the breath. So it's just what I say again here. So D'Artagnan, the dart in N, egg. The egg is pronounced N, silent G. N, Nan. That's why they've got Catherine Tate playing Nan now. This is Inanna. This is the birth of the dark side of Venus. That's why my dog was killed on Easter Day 2019 as Mars was on Aldebaran as it is now. Aintree, circus, merry-go-round, from the flesh of the archer's bow, the dart from Moby's dick, whale's tail, splash, bullseye, N, baleine, bal, N, ballet, ball of E.T. from Balmore, Al. Honestly, you will need a lot of humility when the truth of this show is revealed. It's a huge spoonful of medicine to swallow one's pride. It's all a show to lead you to lead. LL77, LL. This is all about your arse. The Q is the Q is the Q. or the tail. A billiard ball is a small hard ball used in cue sports such as carom, billiards, pool and snooker. The number, type, diameter, colour and pattern of the balls differ depending upon the specific game being played. One of the white balls, plain or spot, serves as the cue ball for each player. The red ball and other white balls serving as his object balls in play. The object is to stroke the cue, to stroke the arse, to stroke the cue, the queue, cue is queue in French, the tail. Okay, a white ball serving as his object balls in play. The object is to stroke the cue ball so that it hits the two object balls in succession, scoring a carom or billiard, which counts 1 point. So this is a video from Jungle Surfer. It's just very short because for all of us, it's painfully ridiculous. Here you've got the NASA team, and I don't even understand, you know, it's just beyond me. Beyond really crazy. Okay, jellyfish cuts, the diaphragm, inhalation, exhalation, the UN. We all have our demons, the diaphragm, the diaphragm, the four corners. Today, Putin announced something about the four corners. Putin, Ukraine, four corners. Four corners, the battle for Ukraine, DD, despair and defiance. What's this? 16th of February. I saw something in the French newspaper today. Ukraine, four corners. Breaking. Four corners. What's this? Breaking Ukraine. Oh, this is called. It says Russia's invasion of the country has begun. Explosions have been heard in several Ukraine cities. So it's, you know, this is the closing, the making of all Europe, the coming from all corners. The Lord of the Rings, the boxing ring is the square, the four corners. The diaphragm can get through the throat. Milky Way. It's the true passage when that double-headed eagle opens the throat. This is the same thing as the double-headed eagle. We've got St. George right here, gorge, throat, valley. It's the passage. North and south nodes. The diaphragm is the Milky Way. It's the John F. Kennedy. It's the cuts. And Lars's picture that shows you this jump we're making from the full expansion of the Jupiter's reigns. This is the mutable cross here. We've got Mercury ruling Gemini and Virgo, Pip and Estella, Jack and Jill. And as they close, the sun and the moon merge. We come back to Saturn, but they close us in the sigil of Lucifer, halfway through this passage, crucifying us on the fixed cross. So we had those 55, 5 for the Cornwall. That's just the head of the fertility gods, Uranus, and that's the 55 kilometers between Russia and Canada. The diaphragm, under the diaphragm, under the wolf. The wolf, under the diaphragm. You've got to get past this now to come back to the Twin Peaks, to find your crown. And the eclipse is always this UN. It's always, you've got the area of the eclipse. The jellyfish and those two dragons, those are in Bulgaria, and the new pip egg. Man of Fatima, the up and down UN. So we're at the last leg, the seven-headed beast. The nail clippers, it's the little prince. We're going through this passage before 2024 Olympics. We're at the four-wheel drive. Paris Olympics, Jupiter, 24 is 42. And the passage, there's the escalators. And the horseshoe, the closing of the Milky Way. It's just Chiron and the north and south node. Chiron is the four passages of the north and south node opening and shutting through the Milky Way, the mutable signs. We're at the last closing now as Pluto leaves Sagittarius and Jupiter will leave Pisces. And Saturn is in the Twin Peaks. It's the passage of the Vesica Pisces, and that voice, the gorge, again. It's your Medusa. Deer Hunter. It's Asia and America and Russian roulette, RR, Romulus and Remus. The gun is the throat passage. Saturn holding the tropic and the equator, which is you've got the two tropics and the equator. It's the 69, 96. Got to be able to get through the two V for victories. So this was on the 29th. We'll be coming to FiOna and Ian soon. But tomorrow, 299 is 11, 2 and 9 is 11. Is 11, and the 9 is the 90-degree angle, which makes 1, which makes 111777 LL. 9 is the angle, 29, 9, and 9 is also Novi 11. So, it's really up to you to find the 4 legs or stuck in the 3. So 11112 or 911. Mars conjunct Capella. So on the 29th, Mars was conjunct to the tip of the eye pet, little goat, Capella. It's the tip of the Milky Way. It's the tip with Deneb, the diving duck, that triangle. The summer triangle was, in the time I did it, I'll show you on a post, but I went back to see the summer, they change the summer and the winter triangle. So winter is here, the little goat cutting, and this was for the rising of Ian, from FiOna to Ian. Moon is waning crescent on Libra, so we've had all this retro, Virgo and Jupiter retro on the whale's tail. This is about Capella. Capella is the nature of Mars and Mercury, high enterprise, combative, destructive. It gives honours, wealth, eminence, renown. Capella, the glorious crown, was said to be the horn of the goat that nurtured the infant love. The horn was broken off in a play by Jove and transferred to the heavens as cornucopie, the horn of plenty. Capella was the patron star of Babylon and was known in Assyria as Iku, the leader. Capella is astrologically as the sun. Capella is the main star in constellation Auriga, the charioteer. Alpha Agra means little goat or goat star. Called so because the goat carries the charioteer on the left shoulder. Capella also has a Mercury-Mars nature. Okay, it's the little she-goats. So that was all on the 29th. Moon in Libra. Got Mercury coming. He's beginning to get visible, not going forward yet. Mars on Capella. And that was the chart. Look at that. So we've got this square between Mercury, Venus and Sun to Uranus and North nodes, making a semi-square to Jupiter retrogrades and Neptune still in Aquarius retrograde, and the Moon making a semi-square to Saturn, and Saturn, of course, square to a Uranus, two cardinal signs, as he's retro and about to go forward, which is going to activate Uranus. We really are coming to the Big Bang. Billy Connolly is John Cleese, and I'm going to be talking to you about a fish called WANDA, because a fish called WANDA is this 322 date coming when Mars will be on the wand of Merlin. He's a very important person in bringing us through the gap. He plays these two roles because the term annus domini is medieval Latin and means in the year of the Lord, but is often presented using our Lord's instead of the Lord, taken from the full original phrase Anno Domini Nostri Jesu Christi, which translates to in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ. So LOL 007, Lucifer, and he shows Scotland's Billy Connolly is Scottish, and he's very vulgar. And then you've got John Cleese, England, all, upper class. So he puts the aggressive, base, vulgar at the top, and they put the Englishman below. And a fish called WANDA is very important. So this is me picking up on a fish called WANDA. And here we've got Kevin Kline wins supporting actor. So you have him with Sean Connery and Roger Moore, the two James Bonds and KK, so that Boaz and Jacqueline Pillars and then he comes in with his D'Artagnan beards, just like Buffalo Bill, just like D'Artagnan, the little beards. So KK is 11. K is 1111, a fish called WANDA, written by JCBC, John Cleese, Billy Connolly, and Charles Crichton, CC 33. He was 77 years old, Charles Crichton, when they wrote the film with John Cleese. 3773 Vesca Pisces passage, you need all for one and one for all to make the fifth element your head. The film is Goldilocks, Jamie Lee Curtis, JLC, Jacob's Ladder Cuts, and the three bears. It's the wheel, the four legs, the corners, fortune, and the two pillars, Taurus field, spin, spine. So you can go and watch that. But, this film, A Fish Called WANDA, which I never saw. So you've got Kentucky, Kennedy, got Amartis 1 that's been delayed again from Kennedy. It's going to be the Jellyfish Cuts. Ken's Turkey, Kentucky Revenge, when the OO is gone. Steamroller, B13, 4964. Yep, on the clip, the steamroller is the number plate is B49. So B is 13th sign and 49 is your 64. Again, same thing. GOG, that was at the end of it. So GG with the passage. This is like, it's like, what's it called? The film MGM, GOG. LOL, Lucifer, our Lord, 007, Concrete Jungle. So he's turned to concrete. A Fish Called Wanda is a 1988 heist comedy film directed by Charles Crichton, CC33, and written by Crichton and John Cleese. JC is BC, Billy the Goat, Connolly, Joke. It stars Cleese, Jamie Lee Curtis, JLC, Jacob's Ladder Cut, Calvin Klein, I've just said, and Michael Palin, MP, 1316. So I'm not sure what I'm thinking of when I'm doing all this. Anyway, the film follows a gang of diamond thieves who double-cross one another to find stolen diamonds hidden by the gang leader. A barrister becomes a central figure as femme fatale, they even tell you, Wanda uses him to locate the loot. A Fish Called Wanda premiered in New York on July the 7th, the day that Princess Diana was born. Again, 7/7 GG, 1988. In Los Angeles, LA Womb Man on July the 13th, 1988. 88 is the HH hunting horn. The 4 double corners, 4-wheel drive, 4 corners to the H, like London Bridge, and was released theatrically on July the 15th, 98 by Metro Goldwyn Mayer. MGM, Lion Gates, to critical and commercial success, grossing over 188 million worldwide. I couldn't even watch these clips. It was so awful. I'm not sure how people... The 39th greatest British film of the 20th century, 36939, closing of the wheel. Okay, so this is all me picking up on this fish, the Vesica Pisces, called Wanda. So 7337 is the fish called Wanda, the one baguette of the sea lion, merlion, the whale's tail, will I am, tail. 7337, both is 1010. We're coming up to the 1010 after the full moon. Got Saturn moving forwards. And 1010 is also the Apollo 11. It's the 1-1. And 2 sevens, 2 1s, 2 7s makes the triangle. Say 1010 or Tintin in a can of adders. Eaton, 8 North Star. It's a passage out of the Netflix. The Vesica Pisces is a type of lens, a mathematical shape formed by the intersection of 2 discs with the same radius intersecting in such a way that the center of each disc lies on the perimeter of the other. So he's 73 years old. This came out on September the 7th, which again is 7/7. September is the 7th month, not the 9th. So that came out before he died, whatever this is, Daily Stupid Joke. And you've got the 2 light bulbs. 3773. Solomon, you've got the cats and the frog. So the double-headed, the same thing. There's the crown. That's the double-headed eagle. You've got the feminine axis of Jupiter and the masculine axis. So this, again, I've showed you many times. This is the 2 coins, the 2 sides of the coin. Coin in French is coin coin, and coin coin in English is quack quack, which is the quake quake. And coin coin is the sound that the duck makes. So this is the Vesica Pisces. You have to acknowledge the 2 sides. The 2 sides. English have been programmed as religion, morality, loyalty, obedience to the laws, independence, personal security, justice, inheritance, protection, property, industry, national prosperity and happiness, which is, so the dark side of the English people, they can never show their anger, is this, and the French people show this side, but you know, they also, when you know them better, they also have this side. It's to find the Vesica Pisces, the middle. So 1792 is the same as 1972. It's when Lucifer Rising came out. So atheism, purity, rebellion, treason, anarchy, murder, equality, madness, cruelty, injustice, treachery, ingratitude, idleness, famine, national and private ruin, misery. So unless you find that middle ground, you need both. So somebody posted this, the magic of 37, which is the same as 73. Look at that. As you can see, 37 times a multiple of 3 gives a triple rep digit, short for repeating digit, which carry amplified and vibrational powers, taken from a Jane 108 Mathemagics worksheet for more number magic. Okay. The letter, so this is your pi, this is your Aleph Tav. The letter pi Tav was first used by Leonard Euler in 1737 in his Varii Observators. So there you have it again, 7337. And there's your fish called Wanda. 37 as a star with 19 as a hexagon, and 73 a star with 37 as a hexagon. It's the wheel, the roof, the front door, the back door, and the cellar. Ascending, MC, descendant, and IC. Peter Selhurst. Okay. 12th door to get through. Analemma, always on the equinox, and this is your meter, this is your 69, 96, it's the snake, it's the lunar nodes. So getting through that passage, up the escalator, through the throat, there's your salamandra, the fire, the alchemical process. Those are your 77, the 2 birds, the 2 angles. And you've got the same as the double-headed eagle. You can have those, the 4 corners. They're now going to give us 6. The crown is here, up at the top. Aten was arguably the first monotheistic god. So this is the name of Prince Charles's new, it's called the mono, okay, yes, I accept. Oh, monogram. Okay. A pharaoh named Akhenaten declared him the only god, Ra. Once he died, people did their best to forget about the whole thing. Right, well, we're back. Pisces, a fish called Wanda. In many fairy tales, there is a peculiar and enchanting figure, sometimes called an Ondine or Melusine, sometimes called a mermaid, who lives in the depths of the sea or a vast lake and falls in love with a mortal man. This legend may also be seen in the legend of the Swan Prince, although here the creature from the other realm has feathers rather than scales. And these ancient stories, in all their various forms, have the same basic theme, the union of a mortal, an ordinary flesh and blood human, with something from another level. So that is about Pisces. We have the T-Rex Scotty Cairo, Sword in the Stone, CR, C Charles, C Canada, R Russia, R Rome. C is also China. Cairo. C is the 3rd letter, R is the 18th, which makes 9. which is your 39, 36, 369. The royal monogram of Charles III was made public in Great Britain. So all this happened for the black moon, I think. It stands. Rex is the Latin word for king, and the number 3. The monogram of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, contained the symbols E2R. The Bank of England said that the new banknotes with the portrait of King Charles III are expected to enter circulation by mid-2024 for the Paris Olympics. Okay. So I got to open these pictures. This is important. The Cairo, Alpha Omega. We've got Russia, Canada, RC, the double-headed eagle and the crown. And this is just, so we had the storms coming up over here. They came into new, up through Cuba, up through here, Florida. So it's just, that is the ET, go home. And you know that. Rasputin, Ra, and the Poot. Double-headed eagle, the turkey, city gate. It's the alchemical journey to make the crown. You've got the snake and the eagle, the cup. It's the same thing. When you find your vertebrae, 33, you get the crown. But this is the double-headed eagle. This is Sagittarius. It's not the Twin Peaks. This is the separation of the skull and the spine. He's holding the sword. That is not the eagle. Carries the snake for the true Alpha Omega. Merging Mars and Venus, anima, animus. So, you know, I've been talking all about this. I'm going backwards down, and this is what is behind Putin in all these announcements coming out from today and yesterday. So the Cairo, it's from the time of Constantine. It's killing the cow, the snake, the Milky Way, the dog, and the hunter. Killing the cow, Taurus. You've got Gemini and Mars. And they kill the Milky Way. They crucify the fixed cross. The sword in the stone. Remember at Cornwall, we had these women in reds, the Q, the tail, and also for the yellow coats in Paris, we had the 5-pointed little Red Riding Hoods, hooded. There they are, 5 of them, showing their breasts, the bullseye. The cornerstone to get through. So we're going to have this. We're going to have the 3 phases this month. We're going to have the 2 black moons, the full moon. Have the full moon on the 9th coming up with the 2 black moons, which means that we're going to have those 2 crescent. There's your big ears. That's Charles and the big ears. There's the opening, the shutting and the opening of the Kohaim hands. It's Mars and Mars, Jupiter and Saturn, Mercury and the Sun. And this is that Anno Domini. This is why that role of John Cleese playing Billy Connolly and John Cleese coming to this passage now. And this is 10-6 or 10-9 coming up, full moon. the 3. This was a good video from Uno, the Prince of Air Power's Last Dance. So you've got the Michael Jordan, which is just Mercury and Jupiter. The Prince Arthur Mercury Dauphin and Jupiter Merlin 101 lol 7 LLL is not 1-1 Aquarius, the air. Mercury rules Gemini mutable air child and Virgo mutable earth child, the 23 twin pairs of DNA strands. Jack and Jill, and Jupiter JJ rules Pisces Sagittarius skull and bone 322-223 equinox closure. Cross, St. Andrew's Cross, hung upside down. 2nd house Taurus, Bull is 2. 3rd house Gemini child is 3. Athlete gains. Sirius is the Jordan Nile. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to pick it up. Sirius is the Jordan Nile. Sirius, keeper of the 4 corners closure. So, Sirius, the king of Persia. The present summer solstice is between Taurus 2 and Gemini 3 on the WANDA of Merlin Orion constellation. In the year, yeah, that's where I went to look it up. In the year 11, the Nile summer triangle was in Gemini, Sun conjunct Sirius. It's now 2022 in Sagittarius, Altair, the Phoenix, opposite Sirius. It's flip-flopped. It was the solstice, summer solstice sun was on Sirius, the 21st of the 6th, 216-666 for the Egyptian era, age of Gemini Taurus, but now the horizon, north winter, summer south, the new horizon is going to be on Aquarius 11, not Gemini 2, MJ, JM, JJ, Jude, Pete. Mutable age is over. MJ Jordan is not the heir. He is not the peak pick of the Nike. They are merging Taurus Earth black with Mars yellow fire and Gemini air red to make their new Isis, Osiris and Horus. It's the closing of the mutable to fixed cross manipulated by time. Gigi, Gregorian, Julian calendars, jour J. I've got quite into Tracy Ullman. She's very clever. And this just caught my eye because comedy is the Anno Domini. So divine comedy. So I'm going to show you this because basically I showed you those 2 coins, but if you can't activate your anger, this is very funny. People who just can't be both sides of the coin.
Wait, now, when I first went to drama school back in 1979, I thought it was going to be all about prancing around in leotards, gently trees and dogs and that, you know? But I soon realised that it was about life. Yeah, so with that in mind, let's dig into our inner truths. Let's get the pig out, let's look it in the face and let's kill it, alright? Okay. Now, shelter on account.
Let's get the pig out, look it in the eyes and bust it. There's so many people just cannot get past fear, pain. They can't get past the threshold. Their ego is too big. Their fear is too big. The threshold is the throat. You've got to repent. You've got to lose everything. You've got to be ready to have empathy of others who've been through pain without focusing on your own fear.
Shelter on a council estate in Southport and you. Rupert. You're a dealer. You're a bastard.
Awesome.
Right, listen, Siri, you're so desperate for some skag, you left your baby at home to turn tricks, alright? And shut.
This is really equivalent from my quiz, but I was wondering if you could sort me out with some heroin.
They are literally have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, and see. All right, and see. All right, okay. The problem is, you're playing it like Eddie Bloody Redmayne. Where is the range? I mean, what do you think of when I say range?
Rover. An Arga.
Rover and Arga. Mars. So,
Try and find it. Yeah, come up here. Come up here. We're going to dig a bit deeper. Right now, you are a man and wife, and you're on benefits, and you just got back from the pub, and you.
yeah, if you want to get through the mirror, you need to get through the mirror. You've got to get through the mirror. You've got to get past. You've got to know how to use rage properly. It's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. Otherwise, you've got to get through the mirror.
Raging because you got no job.
Shut up, Pippa. You've left your skis in the hallway again.
Right. So again, another Tracy Ullman, and this one is again, it's just, you see, English people are just so infantine.
What have we got? Well, this represents a city being destroyed by a North Korean nuclear war. The concentric circles in Iceland show you how likely we are to die. So lemon is 40%, strawberry 50%, and in the middle. We seem to have a teensy bit of a. No, it's more the whole earth. But I can't stop thinking about it. It's just there in my mind. It's mine too. I think everybody thinks a bit scared. But that's why people watch Big to take their minds off that. We create a different world, an imaginary place. Let's try it again, shall we? What do we have here? This cake shows a magic tree. Oh, love. What are these? It's where the fairies dance. Lovely shit. Pretty windows. It's a delightful cake. It makes me feel very calm. Thank you. Now,
I just called that Popov. Remember the Russian that invented the signal, the right and left brain, the radio, Gaga. Gaga is PlutO. PlutO is about to go forwards. Here you've got Tracy Ullman and the Melanie Trump robots. Tracy Ullman as Angela Merkel. She's absolutely brilliant. Here she is playing the wife of Macron. Brilliant. And here she's playing Camilla Parker Bowles. Camilla Parker Bowles, the fish bowls of WANDA Bowles, bowl. The bowler hat is the sellers, sell her, Porto below. CC Camilla Charles, 3-3 is the 33rd vertebrae, as above, so below. Sometimes she leaves her crown in the fridge or in Canada, she says. Canada is next to USSR, USA, RA, it's the passage from Europe, Russia to Alaska, Canada, North, South America. NASA is 55 kilometers to the air, feathers. And, you know, I just lost my train of thinking. I'm still very Mercury retrograde here. And I have been thinking so much about all this. So what this is from Lars, Fast and Furious, FF, GF, 76 is the 13B, GG, 77, FF, 66 is 69, 96, Fast and Furious. Russian roulette, the Georgie girl, GG, 77, throat passage. Mercury voice, Taurus throat, torso, Taurus, and Mars is the gun. The G in the UN, wars, merging of Isis, Osiris, and birth of Horus. Osiris' wife, Isis, restores her husband's body, allowing him to posthumously conceive their son, Horus. Horse is the throat. You've got a horse voice. The old woman has a horse. And it's the same as whores, the shawls, the Putin. If you are a horse, your voice will sound breathy, raspy, or strained, or will be softer in volume or lower in pitch. Your throat might feel scratchy. Hoarseness is often a symptom of problems in the vocal folds of the larynx. By looking at the massive rhetoric army drafting a military build-up across the world, corresponding with the gods in heaven, it could be a possibility that a war will start the 2nd of October. As Mercury, the god of flow, begins to go forward in VirgO, joining hands with Mars, the warrior, in Taurus. This joined force will end at the 30th of October as Mars will start his retrograde in Taurus. This is a narrow window of 28 days with two times the body of Osiris of 14 parts. Okay, so another post from Lars, and I'm not going to open it. You can go to his site and it just shows the torus field. Those is the 2 pillars and the crown in the middle. When you have that passage, you are in the space between each breath. You can keep your cool. Again, faulty towers, faulty twin DNA towers. I've showed you before the moose, Canada. It's all being prepared. Right, so we come to the whale's tail, telltale Moby Dick splash. That was somebody posting my post. That again is the UN. The UN is the Medusa diaphragm cut. The blue boy is the little boy blue. Your voice taken. Mercury blinded. Breathe, speak up. Don't fall for the JFK diaphragm Dorian Gray cut. Right, so the Royal Ark 6996 was closed exactly a year ago. That was the Champ de Mars. The Champ de Mars, it goes to the Arc de Triomphe. And that's the elephant with no heads. We saw in the Little Prince. I've covered that a lot. So that was the day of the black moon. Well, only 5 days ago. Goodness. Okay, let's get David Bowie. He's always got, this is life on Mars. Nothing and everything is hunky-dory. If you can't have the seat with the clearest view. Life on Mars. We're here. We're on it. Life on a hot Mars tin Jupiter roof. Mars wars have begun. And that was for the black moon. So that was the 29th, was it? So that was about this asteroid, the dart. Here comes the flesh, the dart from the Bowie gingerbread man, Puss in Boots, D'Artagnan, the last royal star leg. It is the eggstone last corner angle of the Royal Ark, jellyfish UN. The ginger cat on a hot top cat gun, tin, can roof. MC kills the egg. In Puss in Boots, they kill the egg. The dart in Aignan, D'Artagnan, the bullseye, the philosopher's cornerstone is not Aldebaran. Taurus, that's Moscow, the mother Diana moon goddess. Aquarius, Fomalhaut is the stone the philosophers rejected. It is the fixed star, Tsar, 11th house, not Taurus. So we're going to have next year, that last leg, we're going to have Saturn in Aquarius. Mars will no longer be then in Taurus, but we're on that. This is the war with Mars in Taurus now before Saturn enters Aquarius. Mars was on the bullseye, 9/11. Well, we're going to have that last leg as Saturn enters Aquarius. Mars will still be in Taurus, although they won't be in an exact angle. We've still got them fighting Saturn and Mars. Mars, the old lords. Mars was on the bullseye 9/11/2022. In detriment, Mars will go retro for solar eclipse Corona 25th 10th. Mars will return to the bullseye. That's it. Basically, this is the darts. It's called the darts. So, countdown to Moby Dick splash. Although the creature which swallowed Jonah is often depicted in art and culture as a whale, the Hebrew text actually uses the phrase Dag Gadol, which means big fish, called WANDA. The tide is high. Ian. The tide is high, but I'm holding on. Check out Mexico, whale's tail, and the baby whale, the dauphin. The trigger, the curl of the little girl. I'm just so gobsmacked at this show. I have to keep pinching myself. It's going to go pop because it's so ridiculous how they laugh. You can't see who they are waking you up slowly because you're so programmed. The gun will go off. Please try to break the waters before they break. Ian is of Scottish Gaelic origin and is the Scottish version of the name John. It comes from the Hebrew name Yoan and means God is gracious. GG again, 7-7. Ian can also be spelled Jonah or Jonas. And, this is it. This is Jonah. This is the whale's tail. So Jonah is the central figure of the book of Jonah, which details his reluctance in delivering God's judgment on the city of Nineveh. So reluctant to open his voice, to use his voice. And then his subsequent, albeit begrudged, return to the divine mission after he is swallowed by a large sea creature. So, Tropical Storm Ian. So here's the whale's tail. Here is the little whale, the little dauphin. We've got Jamaica. We've got Saint-Juan. Corpse of Christi. Fish called WANDA in the bowels, Camilla Parker bowels. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's all symbolic. There's Moby Dick's tail. Grace Jones, Jamaica, showing the 4 eyes. She's got Mars and Jupiter holding with the fingers, Mars and Jupiter holding the eye. The 2 heads of the double-headed eagle. There's your 69 in a fish called WANDA. And there you've got the frame, the frames, the corners, the gun. And you've got the Whore of Babylon. Then we had this person. I have no idea what that was about, but these are the udders of the cans, udder, Canada, the adder, the udders of the cow. The buzz is in Canada's udders, la vache qui rit, most cow, the maple flower, fleur de lis, Lucy Fleur, the fertility goddess turned into an Instagram. The male udder, they tell you, they show you, they even write the horrors. Whore roars, whore Zion, horizon. The whore of Zion, the new Nile line, Nile udder, the mammary gland of female cattle, sheep, goats, horses, and related animals having 2 or more teats and hanging between the hind legs of the animal. So the horrors, Horus, beyond your comprehension. That's exactly what we're coming to. Okay, so Virgo, the high priestess of alchemy and transcendence of the material realm, the maiden and the hooker, the nun and the whore. Inanna, Venus in detriment in Virgo, and Mercury in exaltation in Virgo, and in domicile today. So these are just very good images. Again, the high priestess, the full moon, the 2 crescent moons. It's the same as Charles, as that crown. It's the same as the double-headed eagle. You've got to get past, you've got to get through. This is a post from 3 years ago, 2019, talking about that Whore of Babylon again. So the 23rd of September, Our Lady of Lourdes. So they've got Lourdes, Lourdes is the Pyrenees, it's the North Star. And then you've got UN, and you've got 11/8, so that could be a date, the 8th of November. The Virgin Mary is venerated under this title by the Roman Catholic Church due to her apparitions that occurred in Lourdes, France. Ishtar, Easter, Lourdes is direct line of the horizon where I live. So this is before I knew about the dart, Aignan, Aigle, Queen of El, Hell, LN. 8-11, Venus, Sun will be conjunct. So I went and looked at that dates. Will be conjunct to Moon, Mars. Let's go and have a look. And coin de ciel bleu, a corner of blue sky. 11-8. So on the 11-8, we're going to have Venus and Mercury together in Libra, and Sun and Mercury on the 9th joining. So 9-11, and 9-11, Jupiter's still retrograde. The Moon will be conjunct 11-11 to the corn, to the horn. Okay, I put this wrong. It's Aquarius, Saturn that enters Pisces Valentine's Day, but we'll check when Neptune is. So Cherry Valentine, a drag queen, died today on Neptune's birthday. Neptune, like Shiva, like the bear, has power over the waters, liquidity, because the powers of the waters are the powers of creation. The trident in the hands of the god Neptune, Poseidon, or in Babylonian, Enki. In astrology, Neptune ruled over the pineal. So that is interesting. We'll have a look. This is something somebody uploaded that I didn't know about. Somebody took my voice a year ago and made this very short video, which is quite good, which is very good. I was always a bit worried because sometimes, you know, I've had a lot of experience of people putting me on the front line, not for the right reasons, but this person, you can go and see her site, Awakened Leela, has done this authentically. I think I remember I gave her a donation at that time and she made this beautiful video.
We realised just a game, we've got through the mind games, the mind prism, we bring consciousness into our heart on a direct line. It's just this time. Is our hearts heavier than the feather? Do we carry any vengeance, any hate, any tricks? Do we use power over others? Those that mock the mockingbird, air, Mercury, the messenger, the voice, higher consciousness of heaven, or try to steal the identity of those of us that carry no vengeance, nor hate in our hearts, will be reduced to mad haters. Beware, mad, judgment is here. The black magicians will be shown to you their true colours. They hate purity, they hate the land, the feather, the balance. Form the true third eye. All those of us that carry wisdom, not tricks, nor psychopathic treats, we've been bitten by the venom of fear and hate, shall live. It's separation time of fears to tears, masks of tars, and the long lost weeks.
Okay, so I hope that doesn't have too much of an echo. So this is me finding Shrek. So I never saw Shrek. 2 clips from FiOna from The Tempest, Venus and Virgo on a black moon made me check out Shipwreck Shrek. Posting this here, like I'll explain in the next video. So let's have a look.
C minor, put it in C minor, put it in C minor. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to dedicate this song to Princess FiOna and Prince Shrek.
FiOna, my princess, you on her knees, the dance.
So always the older woman like Miss Havisham and Venus and Mercury, Venus and Virgo.
There's one thing I know. Love.
On the pie, anus, with her wands. You got the ark. So then you've got the green giants, You've got the giant gingerbread man. That's basically what David Bowie plays. And he's got the blue, eyes, the blue and red. And there's the meteor. The meteor and that blue ruby. And the white horseman. You've got Puss in Boots again. Puss in Boots, D'Artagnan. Mars and Venus, the King and the Queen. Twin Peaks. And this is where we're at right now. So you just see it in all film. There you've got the alchemical, albumic, the catapult, PlutO about to go forwards, the splash, the seaman, and there you've got the wig of justice. That's why John Cleese in A Fish Called Wanda is the barrister. He wears the wig. Yeah, it's a splash. Yep, she doesn't want to be kissed. She's going to make her own alchemical process. She's going to find her twin flame within. You've got Pinocchio. You've got all the different characters. I never seen these films, but just these clips were enough for me. And there's the ginger cats. Using his charm, the dart, the musketeer, the D'Artagnan. Okay. So here we've got FiOna, Green Giant, Shrek, Shipwreck, Storm, Venus, FiOna, Bluebird, Mercury, Blinded by Venus. So I showed you for the black moon, sun, conjunct moon, new moon in Virgo. She loses her voice. Venus in detriment, Mercury explodes, voice, bird, retro, the gun of the island, Nova Scotia, New Scotland, their head, Venus in Pisces, exalted, mermaid, Siren, siren, World War III, Nova Scotia is in the shape. So this is the siren, is in the shape of the whale, Pisces now, Venus and Virgo. She loses her voice for legs, eggs, egg, the sound barrier, big ears for tears, fears. So this is covering your ears before the Big Bang. So there's Nova Scotia. We've got another whale. Got another whale. So she's singing, this is Venus and Mercury, exactly as we had. Exactly as we had. Venus in detriment, the black moon, FiOna. And he gets bigger. And then he just pops, and all that's left is the double trident. You've got the blue feathers. Okay, a storm is coming. Fee-fi-fo-fum, F6, Fee-fi, Feline, FiOna, cat on a hot tin roof. So these storms, FiOna and Ian, are just, they're just, Pluto's still retrograde. It hasn't hit yet. You know, this is about the whirlwind. It's just being, so there is the trigger in these pictures. There is the trigger let's see. Here is the trigger. It's the trigger. Saw it very well on these images. You got the trigger. It's the trigger. It's the throat. It's the tonsils. It's the tonsil in the throat. We're just at the trigger. This is the trigger. And the whale is coming. This is the trigger. Okay. FiOna is a baby girl name mainly popular in Christian religion, and its main origin is Irish. FiOna name meanings is fair woman. People search this name as Faith, Heather, FiOna. Other similar sounding names can be Fen, Fauna, Faina. Hurricane FiOna could be most intense storm on record to slam Atlantic Canada. Hurricane warnings were issued Thursday night for parts of the Atlantic Canada coast. Okay, and that was a video, Horseman of the Apocalypse from Uno. And there we've got the wig again. So they use Queen to show us if a meteor came towards Earth. He's showing us this dart, the dart that was sent. And they use him from Queen wearing the wig. This is more on the trigger. Interesting Fee-fi-fo-fum FiOna cat on a hot tin roof. Tin of adders. Fee-fi-fo-fum is the first line of a historical cat train famous for its use in the classic English fairy tale Jack and the Beanstalk. 007 leg angle, the pointed finger last leg gun trigger. So here we're going to see the trigger. Canada, the merging of North Alaska with USSR. FiOna is a baby girl name mainly popular. I've read that. Okay, so these images, are we going to see more this trigger? So you've got, you know, it's all, just wait for the little flash to let me go. Okay. You got that angle, the newfound land. Quebec is the Q again, the K of the beck. So the tail, K, and the beck is the beak. So you've got from Jupiter, the double-headed eagle, you've got the K, and you've got the beck. Pluto under the beck, and Jupiter on the K. Quebec. And that right angle that you need to get through the throat. And you've got gander, you've got the goosey gander, whale's tail, and you've got the pointed finger that pulls the trigger. That's why I showed you that raging bull look-alike pointing the finger at you, and the French newspapers making the corner. Twillingate, Deer Lake, Porto Basque. The Basque is the country where I live. It's the Atlantic Ocean that goes to America. St. John's, Argentina, silver and tin. The Mercury and Jupiter, Pierre. LLL 777111, and that whale, and we've got Liverpool, the throat. Right. I had gone past this last time, but again, do come and watch this video, The Psychology of the Trickster. Because, you know, basically we're dealing with people who don't want to make it through, who just remain. Most live in fear and therefore bring out their tricksters voluntarily or unconsciously. Survival fear tactics. They can be used for the right reasons or the very harmful reasons, to trip you up, to gaslight you, to lead you astray. MJJM, John McEnroe, Mick Jagger, Jackson, John Milton, Jean Melmoz. So let's come back to where I was. That's Fernando, ABBA, Alpha Aries, Omega. That was the equinox photographs, my cat right in that amazing, incredible, right on top of the steeple. And I remember in 2017, for the first eclipse, the sun was over here on the left. It wasn't exactly on top of the steeple. And now as we pass the gap, the sun is right on top of the steeple. I will show you that picture. That is the view on the 22nd, the opposite axis. Look, right there. Okay. Magical ability is the ability to consciously use the unconscious. Just stop to show you that as I wheel down again. Last equinox pictures. Okay, so arms, La Palma. Another video from Uno. I got stung by a frolon on my leopard dressing gown, and when I took the dressing gown out the wash, she was still on there. So pretty amazing. I didn't have any effect. I just consider that was preparing me for something else. A piqûre in French, it's a cure. You get healed, you get your immunity checked up. So just because when I empty everything in my waste, my compost, there were just before the rains came, the storm, I had so many of them. And as I emptied it, I must have squashed one who got upset and came out and gave me a little bite. But that was quite funny. So the picture here we've got on the front of the French newspapers for the funerale. So I is wings, L, I, the L. The funérailles of this siècle, so they show you on the corner, the cornerstone. They show you the cornerstone with just walking around that corner, showing you where we are. We're right at the throat gorge passage. Yeah, these incredible guns. We had the planes, the sound. I won't. The sound. So that's quite a common thing. They just come and above the lake, that famous Barbara song that I sing you, the Black Eagle, they come and block the sound barrier. Okay, so Goldilocks replaced Silverlocks. Original story was Silverlocks, not Belloc. Jude Bollocks. The Queen's death is the last gate through Pisces, Vesica Pisces, and the Polaris last leg spin, 3 bears. The Solar, Lunar, Boaz, Jacking Pillars, BJJB, and now Princess, Beatrice, Goldilocks, B, Paddy Bear, PB, Lead Element, when the last gate is the old nanny goat. They kill Bill. Got to pay your bill to open the gates through the gates. So again, that's more of the St. Andrew that I've already showed you. So we should be coming to the last video. And then I can just show you the full moon. Okay, so this was this was a picture on social media. The ginger cat, leg, egg, apparently found a black belly snake in a woman's den lounge. Is Ophiuchus 13 Joker sign holding the power of her. The snake is wisdom. It's Scorpio that rises an eagle to carry the scales of the snake, wisdom again. 13 is the core position. It's not another sign. It's the door out, the gate, or 8. It's sexual transmutation, being above fear, being the observer of the wheel. A BB22 Black Betty snake found. Scorpio constellation is a J, a hook, and a 13th sign. 13B Ophiuchus kills Scorpio, Mexico, and rises in Europe. The egghead holds a snake. The ginger cat. Here you see the snake as the J. Hook her. The Putin, whore of Babylon, never tamed her inner snake to rise as the aigle, eagle, aigle, last leg again. Okay, my computer just blocked. I just wanted to get to the top of Facebook. There's Medusa. It's brilliantly, simplistically said. Medusa turned man to stone. If you looked into her eyes, images of snakes, wave energy, electricity, Medusa's snake hair, lightning, plasma. The Medusa, the plasma events of old petrified men into stone land. This is why men were petrified of Medusa. See the patterns to know the truth. Okay, I wanted to show you, bingo, jealous people cannot pass the threshold of their own anger, despair and grief. They envy those that made it through the narrow gauge. Jealousy is a combination of three feelings: hurt, anger and fear. We are hurt and angered by a perceived betrayal. We are scared by the possibility of losing a source of nurturance and of never being able thereafter to find another. The paranoid belief that makes jealousy so poignant. Jealousy stands at the threshold of grief, which our ego does not let us cross. Instead of weeping in sadness and fear, our arrogant, affronted, possessive ego enters the fray, and we lash out and blame, engaging in abuse instead of healthy anger as we declare our indignation about the perceived betrayal. Jealousy challenges our power to stay open and centered, without blame or withdrawal, in the midst of rejection. To go through it rather than simply bolster our ego shows us a path to maturity and liberation. So that is important. I wanted to show you this is all what this is about, to get to not be a hooker. So many women find it so difficult to get through that passage from, I would say, 45 to 51, to let go, to become the mature woman, to stop looking for dependency, to stop hooking onto others without doing that inner journey that you have to do yourself. Not sure where I posted that, but that's the same as 1961. 1991 is those 4 90-degree angles, but this was the time of the Gulf War, the recession, and the last time that Mars was going retrograde. So more whale's tail. Mexico was the bullseye, 76. Right there on that whale's tail. Arms, rams, Mars, wars, bras, brass, raw, arm, weapon, soul, armoire, wardrobe, soul, Salon, Leon, Noel, Elon, lame, blade runner, lamb, BP, lead, paddy bear, lame, transient, sharp, a lamb. It's like a tear. The soul, the lamb, is a sharp blade, bleed, bled, be led, lead, bleed, be led, B13, lamb, annual, silence of the lambs, lamps, le seigneur, seigneurs to bleed, seigneur des anneaux, rings, Anne. Oh, anneau is rings, Anne, oh, anneau, sheep, etc. Words are spells, yeah. Kids' knees, kidneys. So Gemini is not the knees of Capricorn. It's the kidneys. It's the rein, your kidneys. The rein is the queen, kidneys. Libra, Venus, queen, rein, kidneys. UK, Ren, your crane. Crin in French is fear. Crane is the 90-degree angle. It's also your brain or skull. Twins, the kids. Mercury, lungs, arms. Gemini, Mercury is the fallopian tubes. Virgo, Mercury. Reins are the straps used to control. Reins are the straps used to control a horse. And rein is the word used in the phrases rein in meaning to restrain or cause to stop, and free. Reign meaning complete freedom or control. Reign means to rule, especially as a king or a queen. And it can also be used as a noun during the period during which a ruler rules. Okay, that's it. We're back to the last video, so we're going to go and see the full moon now. Okay, so just so you know, all these retrogrades are about to go forwards. So we've got the exact dates. We've got the PlutO retrograde. He is going to be stationary on the 8th of October, the day before the next full moon. And then he's going to move forwards until January. And he'll get fully back to where he began on January 2023, the 29th. So Pluto is going to go forward from station. He'll be stationary on the 8th of October. And we've got Saturn. He's going to move forwards. He's going to be stationary on the 22nd of October, just before the eclipse on the 25th. So Pluto going forward first before the full moon, and Saturn stationary and then moving forward for the solar eclipse on the horn of Mars, Mars on the horn of Taurus, and for the eclipse, which is in Mars Libra, I think, or is it in Virgo? We'll go and check. Jupiter is going to move forward on the 23rd of November, stationary to forwards, and then he will arrive on the 14th of February back to where he was before he went retrogrades, and that is the same day that Saturn enters Aquarius, deadly Valentine. Uranus is going to move forward the end of January, and Mercury, we're right on it right now. On October the 2nd, Mercury stations and turns direct at 24 degrees Virgo. And then on the 16th of October, he'll be back to where he began. Okay, so let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at the full moon coming up. So, full moon, the 9th of the 10th. Mars coming towards the horn. We're going to have Mercury going forward now. Pluto moving forward now. Saturn still in Capricorn, making that famous square to Uranus, North Node in Aries. Jupiter retrograde. He'll come back to the point, the middle of the whale's tail where he was for the death of the Queen. He's got a few passages over that as he goes backwards and forwards. He's still going backwards. The moon will be in Pisces. Neptune is still retrograde. And we've got the sun conjunct Venus. So Venus in detriment opposite the moon in Pisces. Let's go and see here. So let's come back to now. So right now, the moon is in Scorpio. Mercury is going to start going forward, stationary tomorrow. And then for the 6th, he'll be fully on his way forward. So that again is like the 10-6. And Pluto is going to go forward on the 8th. As Mercury is going forward, can you imagine that energy? And they're trining each other. Pluto in Sagittarius. So you've got your 6-9. You've got that 6-9 moving forward. The 9th house Sagittarius, 6th house Virgo. Mercury and Pluto trining each other as he moves forward to set off the 4-wheel drive spin. And then we have on the 9th at 22 hours, we've got the moon right opposite the sun and Venus coming up to Spica, the blue star. And then let's see when the next black moon is, because Virgo is such a big constellation, we always get 2 black moons. Yep, we're going to have another one. Going to have another one on the 25th of October. So let's see the Hunter moon. So the Hunter's moon will peak illumination 4:55 p.m. Eastern time. It will be below the horizon at this time, so we'll wait to see at sunset. Hunter's moon or harvest moon. So this, the Hunter, Pluto, going direct. He's the Hunter. The Archer, she is the true Amethyst. So we're probably going to have Amethyst 1 coming for one of these. So we've got a black moon on the day of, this is the eclipse. What am I talking about? This is the big eclipse. This is the partial solar eclipse, because that's not completely next to the south-north node, so it's just partial. Mercury is going to be right on Spica, as it was for the death of today is the date that Matt, my grandchildren's father, took his life 1 year after his brother, very much Pollux and Castor. And Mercury will be the blue boy. This is UN. This is the UN forces coming in. And we've got that big ears. This is the opening of the Big Bang. And we've got Mars that will begin to go retro. There he is. He's stationary, and he's going backwards. So I can't tell you. We have on 9/11, we're going to have the moon coming up to Aldebaran. It really is, you know, all of us astrologers are, it's so big to have Pluto and Mercury going forwards. And that was a lot of stuff to cover. I'm sorry it's always so long. I'm still working. I'm really hoping. I've got my builders who have all promised. I've found somebody to look after my babies, which is fantastic, but I will need him to come and get to know them. And I'm still holding on. I've no idea if all the things I need to get done will be done in 2 months, knowing what's about to happen. But I really aim to, you know, it's just impossible for me to move people. You know, I really am. Women on your own really are at the bottom of the list, but I'm hoping with these planets moving forward, things will get going for me so that I can feel happy about leaving my babies here with somebody. Darlings, I'm working always, no matter how much work I have. I do like to keep my flow, and I'm free from the end, kind of 3 weeks into October. Okay, all my love to you. Bye.